Does Joshua Graham deserve redemption and or absolution after everything he did with Caesar's legion? That was the question I posed to you all 4 months ago. Over 12,000 votes and 99 comments. People here love Joshua Graham. I just wish there was more content on him in Fallout New Vegas. I actually got the idea for this poll question from something Kreia says in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Revan calmed the angry ghost of Ajanta Paul and showed him the path back to the light. One who has fallen so far and done so much evil does not deserve redemption. In a way, such a turning from one's nature is cowardly, a betrayal of the self.
In the comments section of that very video of mine, people applied Kreia's words to Darth Vader becoming one with the Force after everything he did. But that's a different video for a different day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're applying those words to our favorite fictional member of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, Joshua Graham. In the pinned comment I left the definitions of the words redemption and absolution. You want to keep the poll question itself as concise as you can, otherwise people lose interest. But all I can do is hope that people read the definitions before voting. Either way, these are the results. 29% said that he deserves both redemption and absolution, while 3% say he deserves neither. Another 3% says that he deserves to be absolved of his crimes, but without any redemption. Interesting. But the far and away winner, with 65% of the vote, Joshua Graham deserves redemption, but should not be absolved of his crimes. Redemption requires that someone change, to become someone other than the kind of person who would do the things that onlookers may judge as unacceptable. It isn't subjective. You either are a changed person or you're not. But the question in this regard asks if he even should be allowed to become a different man and go on with his life. But absolution is essentially asking whether or not you would forgive Joshua Graham.
This way lies the path to hell. Caesar needed me to translate. Translation became giving orders. Giving orders became leading in battle. Leading in battle became training, punishing, terrorizing. A series of small mistakes before a great fall.
Take prisons, for example. The ideal is that prison can both redeem and absolve someone of their crime. That their experience in prison changes them into someone who wouldn't commit that crime again. Redemption. And the time they had to spend in prison was appropriate punishment to pay for their crime. Thus, they are forgiven. Absolution. Kingdom War 777 argues that Graham earned this redemption from the courier, stopping him from executing salt upon wounds. Not that this was a different secondary redemption, but that Joshua was still the same person he was as when he was with Caesar's legion. He would still do those same things, but instead of being directed towards the enemies of the legion, it would be directed towards the enemies of Zion Valley. That he only really changes after this event, not from being tossed ablaze into the Grand Canyon. This is echoed by Zemnas 001X. Related to this, Reverse Flash Fact states that the Grand Canyon incident was his punishment. Therefore, in his opinion, Joshua is absolved. Although the reason he was punished this way was not due to the crimes he committed, but instead was rendered unto him because he did not commit his crimes well enough. My question then is, would that make a difference? Perhaps his punishment is having to live on.
It never stops burning. My skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable.
Big Guy for You states that Graham would say that he deserves neither redemption or absolution, but has received both. While AJB responds to him by stating that Graham may still be trying to acquire redemption. Also adding that Joshua won't know if he's been absolved by God himself until the day he dies. But what about other people? Particularly people he cares about. It's obvious that for the people of his tribe, he is absolved.
It was as though the prodigal son had returned. They welcomed me like I had never left, never done anything to shame them. I will never be able to repay the debt I owe to them, but I must try.
Vanguard Angel quotes the dragon Parthenax from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
If you can only have one or the other, I agree that redemption is overall better for everyone. But no one forgives you, especially not the people you've directly wronged in the past. In this scenario, that would be the Blaze, who still want Parthenax executed. But the dragon himself is no longer a threat to the populace of Nirn, and in fact wants to spread his philosophy of peaceful coexistence to others of his kind.
We were made to dominate. The will to power is in our blood. I can be trusted. I know this, but they do not. Only Khan Niovdova. It is always wise to mistrust Adova. I have overcome my nature only through meditation and long study of the way of the voice. No day goes by where I am not tempted to return to my inborn nature.
One thing I've noticed is a lot of people suggesting that absolution can only ever be given by God. Don't sell yourself short. These crimes are done by a human against other humans. It's not a matter of whether or not someone has the right to judge others. It's that we have no choice but to judge others. It comes to us as naturally as breathing. Even if we don't voice our judgment, we still do it. And if it helps, think of it this way. God must have given us this ability for a reason. And not just this, but all the other powers that we have as well. I once knew someone who had a brother, and he was very ill. After days of hospitalization and surgeries, he got better. Afterwards they said, "Thank God." And that's when it hit me. Yes, thank God by all means. But the doctors, nurses, and everyone else who contributed to his recovery and worked so hard, don't they get any credit? Even if you consider yourself to be very religious, my message to you is this, ladies and gentlemen. As human beings, we are not powerless.
Sometimes I tell myself that these wildfires never stop burning. But I'm the one who starts them. Not God, not them. I can always see it in my mind. The warmth and the heat. It will always be a part of me. But not today.